Welcome to Spoken Quora, where stories spark inspiration and knowledge fuels growth. Join us as we explore real-life journeys, practical wisdom, and motivational insights to help you unlock your full potential. Today, we're diving into the powerful book Self-Discipline by Ray Vaden, a guide to mastering your habits and mindset. Subscribe now, and let's get started. Henry Thompson was 32, living in a modest flat in Manchester, UK, when he hit rock bottom. His desk at the marketing firm was a chaos of coffee cups and half-finished reports. His evenings were spent scrolling through Netflix in Toronto, where he'd moved for a fresh start, or grabbing pints with mates at a pub in Seattle, where he'd briefly tried chasing the American dream. But no matter the city, Manchester's rainy streets, Toronto's bustling Yonge Street, or Seattle's hip Capitol Hill, Henry felt stuck. His dreams of starting his own business, running a marathon, or even just waking up without hitting snooze 5 times felt like distant stars. "I'm just not disciplined enough," he'd mutter, staring at his reflection in a fogged-up bathroom mirror. One gray November morning in 2023, Henry's boss in Toronto handed him a performance review that stung like a slap. Lacks focus and follow-through. That night, nursing a Tim Hortons coffee, Henry stumbled across Self-Discipline. Develop daily habits to program your mind, build mental toughness, self-confidence, and willpower by Ray Vaden at a Chapters Indigo bookstore. The slim paperback promised transformation, and Henry, desperate for change, bought it. Little did he know, this book would become his roadmap, guiding him through a journey of grit, small wins, and life-changing habits. Vaden's book begins with a truth Henry felt in his bones. Self-discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. As Henry read, sprawled on his IKEA couch, he imagined himself as the hero of his own story, not a side character drifting through life. Vaden argues that self-discipline starts with a strong, well-defined sense of purpose. Without it, you're a ship without a rudder, tossed by life's waves. Henry took Vaden's advice to heart. He grabbed a moleskine notebook, a gift from his sister in Vancouver, and wrote down his goals. Launch a digital marketing consultancy by 2025, run the London Marathon, and read 1 book a month. Writing them down, as Vaden suggests, made them real, not just fleeting thoughts. Henry pictured himself pitching to clients in a sharp blazer, crossing the finish line on the Mall in London, sweat-soaked but triumphant. This wasn't just daydreaming. It was, as Vaden calls it, sensory vision, using imagination to fuel motivation. In Seattle, Henry had once met a barista named Mia, who turned her coffee shop side hustle into a thriving business. She'd told him, "Know why you're grinding, or you'll quit when it gets tough." Vaden echoes this, urging readers to craft a purpose statement. Henry scribbled his, "I want to build a life of impact, freedom, and health, so I can inspire others and never feel stuck again." Every morning, he read it aloud, his voice growing steadier each day. This purpose became his North Star, guiding him through the fog of doubt. Henry's biggest takeaway from Vaden's book was that self-discipline isn't about overnight transformation. Rome wasn't built in a day, Vaden writes, and Henry, who'd always tried to go from zero to hero, felt called out. In Manchester, he'd once signed up for a gym membership, hit the treadmill for 3 hours, then never returned. Vaden's solution? Break big goals into small, manageable parts, and build a foundation step by step. Henry applied this to his marathon dream. Instead of running 10 miles on day 1, he started with a 15-minute jog around Toronto's High Park, his breath puffing in the crisp Canadian air. Vaden emphasizes consistency over intensity, so Henry committed to running 3 times a week, even if just for 10 minutes. He tracked his progress in a Google Sheet, a tip he'd picked up from a Reddit thread in the UK's r/GetDisciplined community. Each checkmark felt like a tiny victory, proof he was moving forward. This approach spilled into his work. Henry's consultancy dream felt overwhelming. Business plans, client outreach, branding, but Vaden's advice to solve big problems like math, one step at a time, clicked. Henry started with one task: creating a LinkedIn profile, showcasing his marketing skills. He spent an hour a day refining it, drawing inspiration from a Canadian entrepreneur he followed on X, who'd posted about starting small, but starting now. By week 3, he connected with 5 potential clients, one of whom, a startup founder in Bristol, replied with interest. Vaden's book stresses the power of learning from others. Get a mentor to look up to, he writes. Study how they handle difficulties. Henry didn't have a personal guru, but he took Vaden's suggestion to read biographies. At a Waterstones in London during a visit home, he picked up Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the story of Nike's founder. Knight's persistence through setbacks, lawsuits, supply chain chaos, lit a fire in Henry. If he could keep going, so can I, Henry thought, dog-earing pages. Back in Toronto, Henry found a virtual mentor in Sarah, a UK-based marathon coach whose YouTube channel offered training plans and pep talks. Her Manchester accent reminded him of home, and her advice, focus on what you can control, like your next step, aligned with Vaden's call for perseverance. Henry emailed Sarah, thanking her for her videos, and was thrilled when she replied with a personalized tip. Build endurance slowly, mate. You've got this. That small connection felt like a lifeline. Henry also drew inspiration from cultural icons. In Canada, he admired Terry Fox, whose Marathon of Hope showed what discipline could achieve against impossible odds. In the U.S., he thought of Oprah Winfrey, whose rise from poverty to media mogul screamed self-discipline. These stories, paired with Vaden's practical exercises, like journaling to reflect on progress, helped Henry see discipline as a muscle he could strengthen daily. Vaden doesn't sugarcoat it. Self-discipline hurts. It's a path of pain, he writes, but the pain of regret is worse. Henry felt this acutely one snowy February morning in Toronto. His alarm blared at 6 a.m. for a run, but the bed was warm and Netflix was calling. Vaden's words echoed. Self-control means pushing forward, no matter how you feel. Henry imagined himself a year from now, still stuck, and that fear propelled him out the door. The icy wind stung his face, but crossing the finish line of his 5K loop felt like conquering Everest. This resilience carried over to his business. Henry faced rejection. 3 clients ghosted him, but Vaden's emphasis on persistence kept him going. He remembered a quote from a Canadian ex-post. Every no is one step closer to a yes. So, Henry refined his pitch, drawing on Vaden's advice to stay committed. By April 2024, he landed his first client, a small cafe in Manchester, and the 2,000-pound contract felt like a gold medal. Vaden's book offers strategies for battling procrastination and distraction, which Henry called his personal demons. In Seattle, he'd wasted hours on TikTok, refreshing X for the latest Premier League drama. Vaden suggests practical tools like time blocking and minimizing distractions. Henry started using the Pomodoro technique, working in 25-minute bursts, a method he learned from a productivity blog in the U.S. He also deleted social media apps from his phone, replacing scrolling with reading. A biography of Winston Churchill one week, a Malcolm Gladwell book the next. Journaling, another Vaden tip, became Henry's therapy. Each night, he wrote about his wins, a 20-minute run, a client email sent, and struggles, skipping a workout, snapping at a colleague. This self-awareness, Vaden argues, is key to discipline. Henry noticed patterns. Stress made him procrastinate. So, he adopted meditation, using a free app recommended by a friend in Vancouver. 5 minutes a day calmed his mind, making it easier to stick to his goals. By November 2024, Henry was unrecognizable. He'd run a half marathon in Toronto, raising £500 for a local charity, and was training for the London Marathon. His consultancy had 3 steady clients, with a 4th in talks, and he'd moved into a brighter flat in Manchester, closer to family. He read 12 books that year, from Atomic Habits by James Clear to Educated by Tara Westover, each reinforcing Vaden's lessons. Henry's journey wasn't perfect. He still hit snooze some mornings, and a client once criticized his work, shaking his confidence. But Vaden's message, that discipline is a lifelong journey, kept him grounded. You'll fall off the wagon, Vaden writes, but get back up. Henry did, every time, inspired by stories like Canada's Ryan Reynolds, who turned rejection into a Hollywood empire, or the UK's J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter through hardship. Henry's transformation inspired others. His sister in Vancouver started journaling after seeing his progress. His best mate, Tom, joined him for morning runs in Manchester's Heaton Park, and they celebrated their first 10K with a pint at the Eagle Inn. On X, Henry shared his story, tagging Vaden's book, and got 200 likes, with users from Seattle to Surrey chiming in, "This is the push I needed." One follower, a teacher in Ottawa, messaged him, saying she'd started time blocking to grade papers, thanks to his post. Vaden's book, though not perfect, some call it repetitive or simplistic, gave Henry a framework. Its exercises like goal setting and journaling were practical, not fluffy. Its motivational tone, paired with real-world examples, resonated across the UK, US, and Canada, where hustle culture meets a hunger for purpose. Henry's story proves Vaden's core truth. Self-discipline isn't easy, but it's worth it. Henry's journey shows what's possible when you embrace Vaden's principles. Wherever you are, sipping coffee in a Seattle Starbucks, commuting on the London Underground, or walking Toronto's snowy streets, you can start small. Write down one goal today. Take one step tomorrow. Find a mentor, real or virtual, and keep going, even when it hurts. As Henry learned, the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pride of achievement lasts forever. So, grab a notebook, channel your inner Henry, and build the life you deserve.